Hi everyone, good morning. I decided to continue on the series with Terry. I figure once I start, I have to finish it. So this series is in regards to eye products. I do have some of Terry's powder eyeshadows, which are now discontinued, but I don't want to discuss it because it's no longer available to purchase. But if you guys have any specific questions about her powder eyeshadows, please let me know, because as far as I know, they're not sold anywhere anymore. Anyway, so in regards to her eye products, I feel like this will be the easiest one because I don't have as many eye products from her. It's a bit easier to discuss a makeup line when there's no powder eyeshadows. But so I'll just start from right to left. Just a couple of things. I decided to purchase a tripod for my setup. So hopefully for you guys, it's a bit of a better viewing experience since my arm isn't as shaky or just unstable. Because I have issue with my arm and my back, so I figured this would probably be a lot easier to view things at ease. And plus, what's the other added benefit is that I can discussing with both my hands, because it's very hard to discuss products when you only have one hand, that's free. So please feel free, if you guys have any questions or any feedback in regard to this setup, please let me know. So I just wanted to get started. Sorry, I just shut my door. So the first product is the Terry eye primer. There we go. FYI, this is my first time using this tripod, so if something happens, I apologize in advance. Because I just put it out of the box, I assembled it, and then here it is, and it's, for the first time. So with this eye primer, it is really pretty in the sense that, let me see if you can see the applicator. Nice doe foot applicator. It's a long, flexible one, so you can easily just glide it over your eyes without giving you any pushback. This is shade number 2. You can kind of see the color there. I think that's a pretty good color representation of it. I like it. It's not my go-to for primers. I tend to use NARS personally for like primer, like all day, every day kind of a thing. But you can see how it looks when first applied. And you can see here kind of like how it looks when it's like kind of like settled and blended in a bit. You can kind of see if I can do this real quick. I like it because it's easy to blend. I mean, it's a great primer. It's just, for me, it's not, I don't know, it's not my go-to for everything. There we go. I don't know, I just like the NARS one. I feel like it's probably because what I've used for a longer time and what I'm more comfortable with. But for those of you who have really dry eyes or have an issue with makeup looking crepey on the eyelid, this is definitely a product to try for sure. It is really pretty. I forget the price point on this, but I do feel like it's a nice splurge purchase for those of you who have that specific issue. I tried, this is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like a slight whip texture. It kind of reminds me of the Laura Mercier Eye Basics, but this is definitely a bit nicer formula than that one. But to kind of give you an idea of, something semi-similar or something you can like reference with. So that's that. And then we have, of course, the Ombre Blackstars, which I think are like the star or what people identify Terry with in regards to like her, I guess, well-known product. And a lot of people wonder why, because I've seen it now recently with Techno Cupcake, who just purchased a couple. She asked me some questions, what colors I would recommend. And of course, what I would recommend for myself, may not be what's the best shades for somebody else, since, her and I have very different skin tones, and we wear different types of colors in our eyes, stuff like that. Because, I'm a bit darker in skin tone with darker features versus she's, a bit more fair and lighter features. So, if those of you who are wondering what to use if you are more fair, Techno Cupcake would be a great resource for that, because she's bought a couple, and I think she really enjoys her new purchases from Terry, which I'm really happy about. Anyway, so what makes these different? I mean, there's a lot of brands that make cream eyeshadows in stick form, whether if it's Kiko, Chanel, Laura Mercier, Marc Jacobs. I mean, the list goes on, in essence. And I think what makes these very special is the fact that there are a lot thinner in consistency. I can't speak for all the brands in this video because I can kind of give you some comparisons. Like, they're a lot thinner than the Laura Mercier Caviar Sticks. I personally never had good experiences with Caviar Sticks. I feel like when you even put like a light layer, it's a bit thick. I I like thinner consistencies for things so I can layer a lot of things at once to have a very complex look on my eyes, I guess. And I've also noticed that if you apply a bit of the caviar stick, depending on the color, the tip tends to break or fall apart. And I'm not a fan of that personally. And I mean, she has some nice shades, which I'm not I'm not saying that she makes horrible shades, because I think some of them are really pretty. I don't find them as complex as the terry ones. I mean, they look nice when swatched, but I feel like on the eyes, the terry ones just look a lot more complex. You could wear these by themselves, and they also last all day. Like, I can wear these for like 16 hours straight, and they still look fresh when on my eyes. Like, no creasing, no nothing. So for me, I feel like they're very pretty. The Chanel ones over the summer, and they felt nice. I didn't like the colors that they had because they were very, I don't know, pastel colored for me. They're not the colors I would wear. But I feel like if you're very fair skinned, you would definitely like the Chanel ones. But for me, I just wasn't a fan of them. But anyway, rumor has it that Chanel's coming out with more cream eyeshadows over the summer. I'm hoping they come up with some really nice shades so I can pick up a couple if that is the case. So in regards to that, I mean, like I said, they're very like thin texture, complex shades, and they wear like iron. Like if you want, let's say if you want like some of the shimmery shades like on your eyelid and you don't want as much shimmer, you could easily buff it off with a brush and the shimmer comes off. So you could definitely manipulate a bit of the finish on it a little bit. So I mean, that's why I like them so much. Of course, some people may not agree with me, but they're very special cream eyeshadows. Like I said, you have to try one to really see it for yourself. I could say all these things, but the only real way for you to understand is for you to purchase one. I hate to say it, but that's just the reality, I guess, in my opinion. Alright, so let's just get started with some of the colors. So these are the ones that I personally own. I will say, because I always tend to disclose what I get for free or what I get as gifts. The only one that I got as a present was shade number 13, which is Brown Perfection. Yeah. I got this as a gift, not for purposes of reviewing, but just as a gift, as like a birthday gift. When it wasn't even a birthday gift. It was when someone was away for travel and they were in Paris. They brought it back and gave it to me, which I was very happy about. So anyway, let's just get started. So I have shades. You know what? Let me just go through them one at a time. All right. Let me see. This is going to be difficult because there we go. So we have shade 1, which is in Black Pearl. Let me see if I can zoom in or just move my arm in better so you could see the color. You could see it's a black. It's not super dark black, but it's very complex with the shimmers in it. It's like it's different colored shimmers like gold, silver, I want to say blue and pink to some degree. It's a very, very multifaceted shade. Very pretty if you're into super smoky eyes. It's not a color I personally wear often, only because I just don't wear super dark eyes. And then we have shade number 3 over here, which is Blonde Opal. This one is one of my go-to colors because I can use this all over the lid. I can use it as a highlight. This shade is very versatile and it's not super sparkly, which is really nice. So you could definitely use it like in different places on the eye or just all over as a wash. This one's gorgeous. Let's see if I can move back. There we go. And then we have shade number 4, which is Bronze Moon. This is probably one of the more popular shades. If you're into browns or warm colors, Bronze Moon is gorgeous because it's not, hold on, let me scratch my arm. It's not super sparkly. And you could wear this like just as a wash of color by itself mixed with these two could be really good. Or you could wear this with like a more sultry eye or even a little bit in like a smoke, bit of like a chocolate brown smoky eye. This one's really pretty. Not chocolate brown, like a bronzy eye, sorry. And then we have shade number 5, which is Misty Rock, which I think is going to be the most popular shade for most people, because it's a gorgeous taupe. It has like a pinky purpley sheen to it. And it's very sparkly. It's gorgeous. Love this one. And then we have, we have shade number 6, which is Frozen Quartz, which is really pretty because it's a soft pink. So if you're someone who wears a lot of pink eyeshadow or just like a soft wash of color with a kick to it, this one's really gorgeous. And then we have shade number 9, Velvet Orchid. This one is amazing. This is probably the most unique shade that Terry has, in my personal opinion, because there's no other shade like this in any other brand. It's like purple, it's burgundy. Ignore the shimmer because it's like transfer from the other shades. But let me do a fresh swatch of Velvet Orchid because this one is just like gorgeous. You can see how it looks in the stick. And then let me just do a fresh swatch like that. You can kind of see like it's purple, it's burgundy. And you can see how it just glides on like butter. All right. If you're someone who loves these types of shades, this is such a winner. This one's just fantastic. And then we have shade number 11, which is Beyond Gold, which is like a really true to color gold shade right here. And then we have Brown Matte, which is shade number, it's not brown, it's called Black Matte, I'm sorry. It's shade number 12, Black Matte, which is, of course, ignore the shimmer, it's a bit of transfer. This one's a matte, and I feel like this one's a bit harder to blend compared to the other matte shades because it's black, I feel. But I mean, it's pretty. If you're someone who likes a really grungy, smoky eye, this would be really nice. But it's not a color I reach for. This is probably the one I reach for the least. And then we have shade number 13, which is Brown Perfection. This one's just a gorgeous, perfect, like chocolate brown color. It is warm, on the warmer side. And you can wear this for a smoky eye. You can wear this as a liner. This one's just really pretty. And then we have Blue Obsession, which is shade number 14. This one is like a very complex shade. This one has pink sparkles, blue sparkles. Trying to see if I can show the complexity of the shade. It's really pretty. I wear this as a liner. I love this one as a liner. And then we have shade number 15, which is Ombre Mercure, which is probably it's one of the newer shades. It came out, I want to say last holiday. And this one's like a very underrated shade. Very pretty, nice pewter color. So, and I think it has nice sparkles to it. And I feel like you could mix this. Sorry. I feel like you can mix this with other shades and make it like a really nice neutral eye. So, love the shade. And that's basically it for the Ombre Blackstar. So, if you guys have any questions, move this. If you guys have any questions in regards to these, please let me know in the comments bar. Anyway, let me just sit back down because I had to like stand to like show you the swatches. Alright, so then the next thing I wanted to discuss is her Crayon Kohl Terriblies, which I like. I have a bit of a mixed bag in regards to these. So the Crayon Kohl Terribly, this one is shade 6 Opaline Flash. I don't know if this is discontinued or not. Let's see if I can. There we go. This is a really pretty like pearly pink liner. The one thing I like about them is they are very creamy, but for Opaline Flash is a bit too creamy for me. I like it for the waterline for like a bright pop of pink for like it's a nice change to like the standard like beigey nude for like the waterline to brighten your eye, because it does brighten and it's not the standard nude, and they do last fairly long on my waterline. I don't think they're the longest lasting ones personally. I feel like they last like forever on my upper lid. Or even for tight lining, it lasts really well. But for my waterline, it doesn't last as long. But I do think it's really pretty because it's a different, let me see. You can see that pink color right there. Let me see if I can zoom in. Hold on. There we go. It's a nice soft pink. I like it for the waterline only. It's the only time I really use it. But specifically shade 6 is a bit too creamy where sometimes the tip breaks, which I find a bit of a pain. But it is really pretty. And then the other shade I have, which is shade number 7, which is Brown Secret. I don't use this often because I don't wear brown. But it's a nice espresso color, like a warmish brown. Let me see. That's Velvet Orchid on top. You could see that on the bottom. It's like a dark chocolate brown with a little. It's definitely on the warmer side for sure. I like this one too. I just don't wear brown. Whenever I do eye looks, I always wear black. I never wear brown. I don't know why that is. It's just maybe my personal preference. And then we have her liquid liner in shade 1, which is black. Which is, it's see if I can, it's hard to zoom on like metal when it reflects light. There we go. Lean Black, it's her Lean Blackstar. Can't pronounce French. I like this one because it's a very easy liquid liner. Now, the one I will say about this one, I don't get the thinnest line with this one. I like this because I could easily just draw it all across my lid and get like a really decent size, like thickness to the to like a cat eye or just like a line in general. Because I do like a thin line on my upper eye, I guess. But I do like a thin line, but I feel like sometimes when you do a thicker liner, it's a bit more work. But this one, you could just do it one-in-one flash. It's not the blackest liquid liner that I've come across. I feel like it's probably one of the more blacker ones for that matter. But for those of you who want a thin line, this is not the product, I feel, in my personal opinion. But it is really, I do like this one a lot. Because it's just like a foolproof, like just quick, moderate, not super thick of a line, but not super thin. So it's very easy to use in my personal opinion. And then, actually, let me show you the colors. That's the liquid liner. Liquid liner is here, and then we have the brown eyeliner, so you can see the comparison of like the colors. I do like this one because it does come off like a slightly glossy black, which is really pretty. Okay, now for the last two products, because, whoops, I have to constantly like adjust the zooming factor on this thing. Anyway, so we have the Terry Eyebrow Mascara. I have mixed thoughts on this specific one. I like it if I'm just like very lazy and just want to brush my brows just to have like a soft brow look. If you're someone who has very sparse brows, this may not be the product for you. Because I feel like you have to have like really pretty dense brow, like eyebrows or good enough brow hair in order for this to look really, really nice. If for those of you who don't like the pencil because you feel like the pencil's a bit too much, this might be a product for you if you have like a lot of brow hair. This one is in shade 4, which is dark brown, which I like on myself. It's a bit warm, but I can get away with it. You can see there. I do my pencil and then I slightly brush a little bit of this product into my brows and it gives like a nice clean look, but it's not a necessity. I do think it's a nice product on top of a pencil if you want like a nice like semi-strong brow, but if you're someone who has like a lot of brow hair and you don't feel like you need a pencil, then this would be the perfect product for you. I like it, it's just not a necessity for me. And then we have, and this one, I know some people are going to hate me for this. This is her Terry Eyebrow Liner. So in the US, it's only the blonde shade that's available because I think this one, which is the one I have, I don't know the name. But it's, I mean, she only has two colors. It's the one in the United States is the blonde one, and this is the brunette one. I think it's called brunette, but it's more for darker hair. And this is very much like the CQ brow pen in regards to like, you know, it's like a felt tip applicator. Let me see if I can, you can get a good idea of the color right there. It's really nice. I love it. Well, let me take that back. I like it because it gives like a nice warmish brown. Like in the summer, I like this a lot. I tend to wear more ashy brow products in the winter time, but in the summer, I like a bit more warmer brown brows because my hair color tends to lighten up. But you can see how that looks on the very top there in regards to the color. It might be too warm for some people. And what sucks is that it's not sold in the United States. So if you live in France, you could definitely get your hands on this, and probably in the EU for that matter. But in the US, we can't have our hands on this. I know it's a shame. I luckily, a friend of mine got this for me, so I'm glad I have it, but it's not, I'm just annoyed at the fact that I can't get this like on a consistent basis, but it is really nice if you have like a lighter, warmer brows, but like I said, I can get away with this in the summer because my hair color tends to turn a bit warmer. So anyway, so that's basically it. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment in the comments bar, and hopefully I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.